250 years ago, ordinary men and women helped shape the course of a revolution. Some became legends. Others disappeared quietly into history. Tonight, we celebrate a few of the lesser-known patriots whose sacrifices helped secure American independence. Or at least, that's what we were told. General Charles Whittington led a platoon into the Battle of Bunker Hill. When it became apparent the rebels would suffer devastating casualties, he created a distraction so his men could retreat safely. He accomplished this by streaking across the battlefield. Though initially condemned by local Puritans and placed in the stocks, Washington later commended his bravery. Phyllis Wheatley was not the only poetess of the Revolution. Hilda Senecals also published poetry, though she never achieved the same acclaim. Bitter over the disparity, Hilda later authored a scandalous exposé detailing Wheatley's rumored relationship with Benjamin Franklin. Historians remain divided. Without the assistance of Vice Admiral Tom Gorman, John Paul Jones may well have lost at Flamborough Head. Jones reportedly forbade anyone aboard the ship from discussing Gorman's role in the victory. Undeterred, Gorman spent the remainder of his life recounting the tale in local alehouses. While Benjamin Franklin enjoyed his famous air baths with the ladies of Paris, diplomat Michael Sneeringer quietly worked behind the scenes to secure French support for the revolution. Though his methods were never formally documented, his diplomatic efforts proved remarkably effective. He was, however, never invited back to Paris. One of the lesser-known scandals of the Revolution was that Jamie Schwinghamer, not Betsy Ross, created the American flag. Unfortunately for Jamie, Betsy Ross was considerably better connected. Few people know that Benedict Arnold's cousin, Lieutenant Christopher Donovan, also served in the Continental Army. After Arnold betrayed the colonists, Donovan went into hiding. He was never heard from again. Colonel Richard Annunziata built a heroic reputation early in the war, only to have his military career cut tragically short after a riding accident. He was riding his child's hobby horse. Printer Robert Bernstein began his career as an apprentice to Benjamin Franklin. While Franklin pursued diplomatic matters in Paris, Bernstein managed the print shop and circulated critical information supporting the revolution. In recognition of his service, Franklin generously released him from the final 6 months of his apprenticeship. Against the wishes of her family, Sabsina Karimi became a field nurse during the Revolutionary War. Her efforts saved countless lives, and she later married a general she once treated on the battlefield. In time, even her family forgave her. Sharon Love married a wealthy loyalist nobleman. Widowed at the outset of the revolution, she quietly opened her home to assist the colonists. Her salon became the site of countless seditious conversations, and occasionally served as a field hospital. Though the British suspected her activities, few dared accuse Lady Love of wrongdoing. Tea merchant Michael Rubinstein was widely believed to be a loyalist, and frequently clashed with his rebel neighbors. In truth, he served as a double agent for the colonists. The same men who once made his life miserable, later celebrated him as a hero. He forgave, but he never forgot. Eric Olson, Attorney General for the Colony of New York, was originally loyal to the Crown. But after prolonged exposure to colonial politics and increasing frustration with the King's policies, he quietly changed sides. He later used the influence of his office to support the revolutionary cause, though he always insisted he had merely become professionally annoyed. Kimberly Swanson served as a courier for the colonists, often traveling dangerous roads to deliver messages to the front lines. Because women were less likely to be suspected, couriers like Swanson moved information critical to the revolution. Historians now believe she carried the message that led to Washington's Christmas attack and a desperately needed colonial victory. Iris Belen, wife of a wealthy merchant, became part of an underground network of female spies during the Revolution. Their messages passed unnoticed through parlors, marketplaces, and dinner parties. After all, who would suspect a woman of espionage? Though their intelligence proved invaluable to the war effort, history largely ignored their contributions. After losing her husband in the war, Maria Garcia became a camp follower for the Continental Army. She cooked, cleaned, repaired uniforms, and provided the countless daily comforts soldiers depended upon to survive. Some soldiers later insisted Washington himself fought better after one of Maria's meals. Lisa Terwilliger refused to remain idle during the Revolution and secretly joined the diplomatic corps. Because women were barred from such positions, she concealed her identity beneath a tricorn hat and men's attire. Her unconventional perspective quickly proved invaluable, and over time she earned the respect of her colleagues. Though she eventually abandoned the disguise, she found she rather preferred the clothing. And so, as we celebrate the next generation of leadership, we remember the forgotten patriots, whose sacrifices helped shape the future. Please join me in welcoming the officers and directors of the Collier County Bar Association.